What if I told you the reason you keep repeating the same relationship patterns has nothing to do with bad luck? It has everything to do with what you haven't healed yet. Hi, I'm Shua. And here we don't just talk about relationships, we talk about healing, growth, and emotional intelligence. Nobody tells you this, but healing will cost you your whole identity. Healing is not just about moving on, it's about unlearning. Unlearning toxic patterns, unlearning survival behaviors, unlearning the version of you that accepted less. We say we want healthy love, but are we emotionally healthy ourselves? We say we want peace, but do we know how to function without chaos? Healing is uncomfortable because it forces you to take responsibility, not just for what hurt you, but for what you tolerated. Growth requires honesty, and honesty requires courage. So the real question is not, why did they hurt me? It's, what in me needs to heal? So I stop attracting the same lesson in a different body. There is a difference between privacy and secrecy in marriage, and many people confuse the two. Privacy says this is personal. Secrecy says this must not be discovered. Privacy protects individuality. Secrecy protects behavior. And in a healthy marriage, you are still allowed to have personal space, personal thoughts. Marriage does not erase your identity. It's about growing together while holding on to who you are. But when information is intentionally hidden to avoid accountability, that is not privacy, that is secrecy. Privacy builds safety, secrecy builds suspicion. The real question is intention. Are you protecting the relationship from unnecessary external noise? Or are you hiding something that would damage trust if exposed? Marriage is not about surveillance, it is about transparency. Because trust does not grow in darkness. It grows in honesty, consistency, and emotional security. And once secrecy becomes normal, distance quietly follows. Let's talk about something nobody likes to admit. You can be in a relationship and still feel completely alone. Not single, not abandoned, just lonely. And that kind of loneliness is the hardest to explain. Loneliness in a relationship doesn't mean you don't love them. It means somewhere along the way, emotional connection started fading. Because loneliness isn't about physical presence. It's about emotional absence. You talk every day, but you don't talk deeply anymore. You stopped sharing your fears. They stopped asking real questions. Conversations became routine. Updates replaced intimacy. And slowly, you started feeling unseen. Sometimes you feel lonely because you don't feel safe expressing yourself. You think before you speak. You filter your emotions. You minimize your needs. You don't want to be too much. But when you can't be fully yourself, loneliness settles in quietly. You need reassurance. They offer logic. You need closeness. They offer space. You need presence. They offer distractions. And when your emotional language isn't understood, you start feeling isolated even beside them. Some people stay physically, but mentally and emotionally, they checked out a long time ago. Sometimes you're not lonely because you are alone. You are lonely because you are not emotionally chosen. There's a difference. And here's the question. Are you lonely because the connection faded? Or because you have been shrinking yourself to stay? Be honest with yourself. And if this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it.